Well, hello guys, welcome to another video. This is definitely a change of scenery. I'm recording this clip way after the fact. I deleted the intro clip off my camera before I uploaded my footage, and I didn't realize until I started editing this vlog. I'm currently in Colorado visiting my family, but what you guys are about to see is a full day of eating from earlier this week when I was having my first refeed of my cut. So in this video, you're gonna see all of my meals as well as a little chat about refeeds, why we implement them, how to implement them, and how they can be helpful when you are in a deficit. You're gonna see throughout this video, it's not like I eat anything super crazy different. I really did just increase my carbs to aid in recovery, to help my body feel safe, to replenish my glycogen stores, energy, things like that just kind of naturally get depleted when you are in a dieting phase. So anyways, I'm currently just taking a couple days off of tracking while I'm with my family for Easter, but wanted to get this video up for you guys. And sorry if this is really subpar footage. Recording this on my iPhone, but enjoy the vlog. So here I have oats and cream of rice. I just did half and half, so like 25 grams of oats, 25 grams of cream of rice with blueberries and almond butter, and then egg whites. And that is something I used to do literally all the time, is half and half. I do really like the texture of oats. And obviously I love my cream of rice. It's like my ride or die. I have it at least once a day. But since I've been cutting, I've been doing a little bit more oats just because they're more filling and they don't tend to bloat me as much because I'm not eating as many. If I have too many oats, honestly, I get really bloated and full. So what I do is half oats and then half cream of rice. And the texture is so good. Like you still get like the oats, but it also doesn't like bloat me. So give that a go. I just literally make it with water. And I have a very busy day work-wise. I have to do a lot of like lives and have a lot of meetings and stuff. So I'm not gonna be able to show you too much of that, but I will show you my food and we'll talk about refeeds. Made my coffee, so I always have my coffee after breakfast now. It started, I was just like, I don't like waking up and feeling like I can't function until I have my coffee. I don't like feeling dependent on anything until later. But as I was working to fix my hormones and get a regular cycle, which we're about to start, yay. I was doing a lot of research, and it is not great to have coffee before you have food. You actually really do want to focus on eating pretty close to when you wake up. Basically your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, what wakes you up in the morning is that spiking. Natural cortisol fluctuations are literally imperative for you to function and live as a human being, but as humans in today's society, a lot of us have very elevated cortisol. And because cortisol is so essential, when it is elevated all the time, it pulls from other hormones so that it can stay alive, basically. So cortisol will pull primarily from your progesterone, which as a female, that is what gives you a cycle. That's what makes you ovulate. So caffeine, think of what it does, right? It makes your heart beat faster, it wakes you up, right? So that is going to spike your cortisol even more. So you're waking up, you have a spike in cortisol, and then you're having caffeine that's gonna spike your cortisol even more. Eating, on the other hand, will help decrease your cortisol a little bit and shorten that cortisol spike. So, little science for you. But anyways, cold brew. I use probably like a serving and a half of this, a little bit of almond milk, splash of sugar-free hazelnut creamer, and stevia, which I might get slack. I never track this, or my almond milk. It's like I have it every single day. So I just kind of, whatever, low-cal beverage that I enjoy. We are about to go live. I go live in our free Facebook group every single week, and I'm going to make my next little snack. We're gonna make some tortilla pizzas, and these have been So it's a little lunch. It's like 12:30, but I need to eat again soon because I'll go to the gym. So we're not gonna have anything too big, but this is like the easiest thing ever. So catch the replay in our Facebook group. It's always linked below. It's totally free. We post in there literally every day. So we'll post like free resources and stuff like that. But I'll show you guys the final product. Oh, here is the final product. We have our tortilla pizzas. Look, it takes 2 seconds to make. Tortillas, we have some chicken, some cheese. That's my almond butter from breakfast. I need to put that away. Some cheese. But I feel like I need 27,000 more hours in my day. I'm gonna see if Will can train a little bit later because that chicken stuck in my throat. Ooh, chew your food, Lexi, chew your food. Well, ADD Lex is back at it again, but I've been wanting to make this reel for a while, and I have like 2 more things I had to make for it. I've been doing a lot of like recipe reels because a lot of people really like them and recipes on TikTok. And one thing I've been doing a lot recently is like 4 ways to use or 5 ways to use like X ingredients. So I've done like the bean chocolate protein, or I did like your ground beef to help people with meal prep. The one I'm doing now is corn tortillas. And that sounds so random. I buy a ton like I did, and I'm like, I don't want tacos. So I'm doing 5 ways to use corn tortillas, and I just whipped up literally 3 recipes in 5 minutes because I only do quick things around here. Look how pretty she is. I just made some like little huevos rancheros type deal. But that's gonna be a good one. I feel like I'm plugging everything, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, I feel like most of you guys do. I feel like a lot of people come to YouTube from Instagram, but if you're just finding me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. Because that's where I'm the most active. And I post on TikTok every day too, but you know. Gonna whip up my next meal, pre-workout. I literally have like 25 minutes to make and eat this, which doesn't seem like that long, but when you're vlogging, it is. So I was gonna make some pancakes, but I'm gonna make my pancake bowl instead, which is perfect because I always get asked for the recipes. So we're gonna make the most delicious pancake bowl. Let's do it. First thing you are going to need is pancake mix. I'm gonna use the gluten-free Kodiak cakes, which it has 6 grams of protein, so it's not like a protein mix. It's so funny to me, it says 13 grams here. That's when you like actually make it. But you can use as much as you want. Then I'm going to use half a scoop. I need to look, I pre-tracked this. We're gonna use 2/3 of a scoop, so 20 grams of the blueberry muffin. This is a new tub, love it. I'm going to use a dash of baking powder. I honestly bought this and I use it in my brownie bowls and pancake bowls because it makes it just like super moist. But you don't need it. This isn't necessary. I just obviously don't want it like sitting in my fridge. So we're gonna use 40 grams of that and then a whole egg. So that's what I do. We just mix her all up. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. You just want it to be like batter consistency. I'll show you guys. You can see this is the consistency. We just throw her in there. My camera's about to die for a minute. It's usually a minute to a minute and 30 seconds. And there we have it. I was gonna add some sprinkles and I totally forgot, but like, hello, it's so moist and so good. I've honestly been having that a lot at night, and it is very satisfying and like very sweet. But I told you guys last time I did a full day of eating, I was like, I'm not gonna eat the exact same shit. So you guys have seen two whole new things today. I think the rest will probably be pretty boring, so you can just stop watching now. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe because we have fun And if you're not new here, don't forget to like the video. Because a lot of you guys watch these videos. Not a lot of you guys like them. So I'm like, do people hate my videos? I don't know. Should I just quit YouTube? I don't know. Like the video. So, we are on our way to the gym for some legs. And it is toasty outside. I haven't been outside since this morning. I went on a little walk, but normal leg day attire. Big t-shirt, shorts, slides. But I realized I just got a new lens for my camera, which, good, I have it. But I'm really excited because I'm gonna use it for like workout videos and stuff, but it's not gonna work for vlogging because it's like very zoomed in, like I'd be like right here on you. So anyways, I'm gonna have to switch over to using that when we get to the gym, but just wanted to update you and show you something besides my kitchen. We actually died.
We did.
It was really hot. It's like 90 degrees and it's almost 7 o'clock. It's almost 7 o'clock. I have a call in 30 minutes. Anyways, that was brutal. We only did like 4 or 5 things. 5 things? And same workouts every week. Same freaking workout. And it never gets easier, but I will say, I felt better than I have in weeks. And I know it's because we got some food. I should say it in like the last couple weeks, but the food did us good. I got home like right before our call and I ran into a couple of friends who were walking on the path by my house. So I started talking to them and literally had to come in and get on my call. So it is now 8:30 because we had a really good call with our clients. Tuesday we have our client Zoom calls every other Tuesday. All the coaches are on there and we just kind of had like a round table and like a talk about hormone health, blood work, how we read it, how to restore your cycle, coming off birth control, like all those kinds of things, and just like all of our clients who could joined, and then we always record those, so I have to upload that to our resource library, but they're an hour long. Sometimes they're a little bit shorter, but tonight's was an hour because it was really, really good. So your girl is freaking hungry. I do this when I am having a refeed. So I have a lot more food, and like I said, it's 8:30. Usually I eat my last meal at like 9:30. So we're gonna be eating a little bit late, but I actually have a decent amount of work to do, so it probably will be a little bit of a late one tonight, which is fine. I have a serving, which is half a bag of this jasmine rice, some shrimp in there, asparagus, and then I topped it with avocado. And if you watch my favorites video, you know, some pistachios. I feel like I've shown some variation of this meal in my last few videos, but it's really freaking good. It takes 2 seconds to make when I have things prepped. This is good. Super easy way, again, kind of like I did this morning. Just added more rice. And just like a very easy way to get in those simple carbs, which obviously is very important post-workout. And then also, it doesn't make me like super full. Cute. Okay. We showered. I actually talked to my sister on the phone, so it's a bit late, but nothing special. We have cream of rice. This is the shelf of all shelves. We have our chocolate brownie batter, vegan protein. And I have half of a banana and some almond butter, a little bit of sugar-free syrup, a little bit of whipped cream. And my last meal, Spranks. Oh yes. Woo! A lot came out. Always goes on my last meal. Always. Obviously not gonna talk about refeeds tonight. We'll do that tomorrow morning. But I'm watching the newest season of Selling Sunsets. I honestly have no idea when it came out, but that show It's like my guilty pleasure. But yeah, so only thing I didn't really have time to do today is I like to do 30 minutes of like learning. So sometimes that is like health and fitness stuff, like reading different studies, if I'm taking a course, things like that. Right now I'm trying to learn about a lot of different like business related things, which has actually been really, really fun for me. But I didn't have time to do that. And I'm not gonna make my brain work at 10:30 p.m. But we'll catch up in the morning. People, it is the next day. The sun's about to go down. And I was like, I need to film this. Let's talk refeeds. So, you probably noticed yesterday my food did not look that different. It wasn't like a crazy amount of food. I feel like a lot of times, especially on YouTube, when people think refeed, they think like cheat day or like just eating a shit ton of food. And, you know, the way I like to approach refeeds is typically very calculated. To each their own, and I think sometimes we do need like a true break from dieting, like go indulge, right? I do take it like an untracked or like free meal every week, but refeeds are something that can be super beneficial during a dieting phase. I have always been someone, not just with like fitness stuff and food stuff, but just in any area, if something's not working or something is hard, my instinct is just to push harder and work harder and like don't be a little bitch. And I think, you know, obviously in the past that's led to like an eating disorder, but in a lot of ways it also has like gotten me to where I am in other aspects of my life and is a huge reason I'm successful. But something we forget about our bodies oftentimes is that we have to work with them like they are truly on our team. What a refeed is a, again, calculated increase in food. And you can do it for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, back to back. Mine was just 1 day. And typically you're gonna focus on increasing carbohydrates. What happens when we are in a calorie deficit? Our bodies are adaptive. So as we continue to diet, our metabolism is going to adapt to the lower calorie amount because our bodies always want to stay the same, right? Essentially to maintain on a lower amount of calories, which is why you have to continue dropping food and adding cardio throughout your deficit. That is one thing that happens during a deficit. What also happens is your body is depleted of energy, right? Like you're giving your body less food that it essentially needs to maintain. So it's going to use fuel from your muscle glycogen stores, right? Which glycogen is stored carbohydrates in your muscle, and other systems will tend to downregulate, like your recovery. Sometimes it's your digestion. Overall energy stores will be depleted, right? Because there is a lack of energy. And yes, that is just part of a deficit. You're gonna be hungry, you're gonna be a little bit tired, like that's just a sign that you are in a calorie deficit. But there does reach a point where it is important to give your body a little bit of R&R, right? And to pull back instead of push harder. And we know to do that when we listen to our bodies. So with a refeed, you are going to be, like I said, increasing your food, typically in the form of carbohydrates. It is your body's preferred energy source. You know, the size of the carb and fat increase is going to vary depending on the individual. I think a lot of people just think you utilize refeeds when you're like prepping or in a crazy, crazy low deficit. Obviously, I'm not, but I am in a deficit and we have to look at biofeedback. I'm a lifestyle coach and most of my clients who are dieting for more than I would say like 5-6 weeks, we end up utilizing refeeds. Because regardless of if you're prepping or not, right, a deficit is going to put stress on your body. I think a lot of people have this idea that like dieting should only be hard if you're prepping, and yeah, it's not as hard. My food is not nearly as low as when I was prepping. I'm not doing nearly as much cardio. I don't feel nearly as depleted, but I'm still in a deficit. I'm still hungry, right? And what we have to pay attention to is biofeedback. So things like poor recovery, things like crazy cravings, being very, very tired or not sleeping well, decreased strength in the gym, not being able to get a pump, even stalls in weight are things that we will look at. for myself in particular, I haven't been paying too much attention to my weight this week just because it's that time of the month. I have been having a lot of trouble recovering, which that's the first thing. That's like really the biggest thing that I notice in a deficit is my recovery is hindered. So there really is a line where I just have to kind of like accept it, and also a line where I'm like, okay, I need to listen to my body. I did notice is that my glycogen stores were depleted. So I could tell, one, just looking at myself, I looked very flat. The other thing is when I was training, this is another sign your glycogen stores are depleted, I was having a really hard time like contracting my muscles. There's like a very specific burning sensation I get, which I know a lot of people are like, feel the burn, but I know when it's just like a low glycogen burn and like this particular muscle is working burn. And I was just like not able to get a pump in the gym things. I was like, I really haven't given myself a refeed. And I think in my head, and this is just me being blatantly honest, like I said, my first instinct is always to push, but also reflecting on my deficit, this is the first lifestyle cut I've done in a long time, and I'm coaching myself. I don't have someone who's like looking at this biofeedback for me. But I'm like, okay, I've had a couple weekends where I had like my sister in town, I had Melissa in town, I wasn't tracking those weekends, I take a free meal every week, my food's not that low. When like Melissa and my brother and sister were in town, and I like wasn't tracking, it's not like I was just like YOLO either, right? And this is what I tell clients when they're like traveling and in a deficit. Like I was definitely still in a deficit, and I've been tracking for so long. Like I know, right? Like I probably was getting pretty dang close to my macros. And the times I probably have gone over my calories, honestly, and like a lot of times when I have like my free meal, it's drinks, which are doing absolutely nothing for my recovery or filling up my glycogen stores. I've been pretty calculated, even when I haven't been tracking. And I think in my head, it's like, oh, when I'm not tracking, I'm just kind of like, oh, like free meal, whatever. But I'm depleted, or I was depleted. I feel so much better today. But anyways, I was just getting frustrated. And in my head, it really wasn't even because I'm like, oh, I'm dieting. I just am in a very good headspace. So for me, like I 0% really ever think about the fact I'm in a deficit unless I'm like hungry or like planning out my food. I'm like, oh, I have less macros to play with, but just like not a thing for me. Like I said, it helped a lot. So yesterday I increased my carbs by 75 grams. I do it once a week now. I'm gonna do them on my leg days, because my Tuesday leg day, because one, that's just a hard workout, obviously. I really want fuel for that. Two, that is the workout that I just have the biggest issues recovering from. I think a lot of people think like, oh, you're gonna do higher food on leg days because you burn more calories, and like your body doesn't work like that. Like it genuinely doesn't. And with a refeed, you're still like throughout the week gonna be like as an average in a calorie deficit, right? It's not just, and that's why being like, I'm just gonna eat a shit ton of food doesn't work, because you're not gonna be in a calorie deficit and you're not gonna lose weight, right? But like my average throughout the week should have me in a deficit. Anyways, you don't have, I think a lot of people think that you do your refeed on the day you use the most energy, and I would say don't. If you're gonna pick like one day a week, do it on the day that you're training a muscle group that like you really want to keep around, or if you train in the morning, do it the day before. But you can also do it like every 3 days or every 5 days or whatever. I'll have like a higher food day. You know, you could be like, mentally I just need it and I'm just gonna have like a bigger free meal every week. So there are multiple ways to do it. Again, like the amount of food you're gonna want to increase is going to depend. So anyways, I just kind of realized like, yes, I just want this deficit to be over. And realistically, I'll probably go for a few more weeks, and I don't really care if like adding a refeed slows it down, but 99% of the time it will prevent you from stalling. So there's that. Just wanted to do a little bit of a refeeds explained. Feel free to comment any questions that you have. Again, everyone's so different, so if you have questions like personalized to you, I probably can't help unless I'm coaching you, but if you do want coaching, the link is always in the description. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know you like full days of eating. I really do want to educate you guys more. I love YouTube because it's very long form versus Instagram stories where I like feel annoying if I talk for more than like 4 slides. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. As always, let me know what you want to see, comment, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.